The sun rose slowly over Orita Market, painting the wooden stores in gold. Women shouted prices, traders arranged their goods, and the smell of pepper and smoke filled the air. In one small corner sat a woman called Mama Kemi. Her stall looked old, her bench was shaky, her table was rough, and her pots blackened with smoke. She had no husband, no child, and no helper. Every morning, she came alone, dragging her heavy food pot and her broken stool. Her hands were strong, her face lined with years of struggle, but beyond her tired eyes, there was a woman who once had dreams. She sold rice and beans with fried plantain, and she cooked it well, rich with palm oil, pepper, and onions. But no matter how tasty her food was, nobody stopped to buy. "Madam, I go come later," they would say politely and walk away. Others would pass by without even looking at her. Sometimes, by evening, her pot would still be full. She would pack the cold food, pour some to stray dogs, and throw the rest away. Every night, she went home with little or no money. And each time she asked the same question in her heart: "Why is my own always different?" Her house was a small mud building at the back of the market. She had one small bed, a stove, and a Bible that she hardly opened anymore. Sometimes, as she ate her leftover food, tears filled her eyes. "I work hard, I wake up early, I pray," she whispered, "but nothing changes. Is my destiny to suffer forever?" One hot afternoon, Mama Kemi was sitting quietly when she noticed Mama Ronke, her fellow food seller, laughing loudly with customers. Her store was filled with people, men, women, children, all eating happily. "Mama Ronke, give me more stew." "Mama Ronke, your rice sweet die." The sound of laughter and spoons eating plates reached Mama Kemi's corner like thunder. She watched silently as money filled Mama Ronke's bowl. Her chest tightened with envy. When the crowd left, Mama Ronke came to her stall, smiling proudly. "Mama Kemi, my sister, how market?" she asked mockingly. Mama Kemi forced a smile. "We thank God," she replied. Mama Ronke looked at Mama Kemi's pot and sighed. People these days are too choosy. Maybe you should do small prayer for your business, because no one succeeds with ordinary hands, so you need to pray harder. Or maybe you are not meant for this type of business." She winked and walked away. Those words echoed in Mama Kemi's heart. No one succeeds with ordinary hands. That night, she could not sleep. She lay on her bed, staring at the ceiling. What kind of prayer did she mean? Ordinary prayer or something else? Her mind raced until she sat up suddenly. "I will also look for help," she said aloud. "I can't die in poverty." The next morning, before dawn, Mama Kemi wrapped her shawl around her shoulders and left her house quietly. The road was misty and cold. Crickets chirped. Somewhere in the distance, a cock crowed. She walked far until she reached a narrow path leading into the forest. People said a herbalist lived there, a man who could change destinies. Her heart pounded, but she kept walking. Finally, she saw a small hut with smoke rising from the roof. Strange objects hung from the trees: feathers, shells, bottles with colored water. An old man sat in front of the hut. His eyes were sharp, his beard white as cotton. He looked at her without smiling. "You seek help," he said. Mama Kemi knelt down. "Yes, Baba, I have suffered too much. I sell food, but nobody buys from me. I just want my stall to be full." The man nodded slowly. "Everything has a price, woman. What you want is not ordinary. Once you start, you must never stop." She swallowed. "I will do anything, Baba." The man stood up and went into his hut. When he came out, he carried a small clay bowl. "Listen well," he said. "Every night before you sleep, you will bathe and pour the water into this bowl. Keep it by your cooking place. Each morning, add 3 drops of that water into whatever you want to cook. But no eyes must see you. No one must ask what you are doing. And you must never skip a night." Mama Kemi shivered. "But Baba, bathed water? That is filthy. How can I feed people with that?" The man looked at her and said, "Filth to you, but a feast to the spirits. If you wish for success, you must do it in secret. No one must ever see you perform this ritual. Not a neighbor, not a passerby, not even your own family. If anyone sees, the spirits will take their eyes off their life, and you will lose everything." Mama Kemi swallowed hard and said, "I understand, Baba. Do not fail." The man said once again. She nodded quickly. "I will not fail." He smiled faintly and handed her the bowl. "Go. When people begin to gather at your stall, do not forget where it came from." That night, Mama Kemi did everything exactly as the herbalist said. She bathed, collected the water carefully, and whispered a short prayer. Early the next morning, she sprinkled 3 drops into her pot before lighting her stove. The smell that rose from her stew was different, richer, sweeter. Even she was surprised. When she reached the market, something very strange happened. Before she could even set her table, a man stopped. "Madam, this food smells sweet. Oh. Give me 1 plate." Another customer came, then another. In less than an hour, more than 10 people were waiting in line. "Madam, abeg hurry. Mama Kemi, add meat for me." She couldn't believe it. By afternoon, Her pot was empty. For the first time in years, days turned into weeks, and Mama Kemi's fame spread like wildfire. People came from far places just to eat her food. Traders called her the Queen of Rice. Even the market chairman praised her. "Mama Kemi, your food dey make the market lively," he said. She started wearing new clothes, gold earrings, and perfume. Her once dull face now shone with pride. But her success came, so did pride. When other traders greeted her, she barely answered. When poor customers begged her for small rice, she waved them off. "Go and get money first," she would say. Mama Ronke gradually became jealous of Mama Kemi. She gossiped with other traders. How did Mama Kemi become suddenly famous? How did people suddenly branch her shop and like her food best? She is making all of us to run out of sales. I don't think this is ordinary. The other traders agreed with her. Yes, so it's not ordinary. Somebody that no single soul always buys from her. All of a sudden, people gathered just to eat her food. Another trader said, "Maybe she's just lucky. Maybe God has lifted her up. Maybe God says it's her time." A trader said. Gossips continued to go around the market and rumors, but Mama Kemi didn't care. At night, she did her ritual, but sometimes she was too tired after selling. "Just one night won't spoil anything," she told herself. Sometimes strange things began to happen to her. One night, she saw a reflection in the bathwater, smiling when she wasn't. Another night, the ball seemed to move slightly when she looked away. She became restless, but she ignored it. "Maybe I am just tired," she said. Then came the rain one day. That night, she was too exhausted to do the ritual. The next morning, her food didn't taste the same. Some customers complained softly. "It's okay," she told herself. "Tomorrow will be better." But the next day, fewer people came. By the third day, the crowd was almost gone. By the fourth day, no single soul came to her shop again. It was just like before. She grew worried. She rushed home that night to do the ritual again. But when she touched the bowl, she found a small crack along its side. Her hands trembled. "What happened?" she whispered. For the first time in months, she felt fear. The market was full of gossip. "Have you noticed Mama Kemi's food doesn't taste the same? I heard someone got stomach pain after eating a stew." Rumors spread fast, and soon customers avoided her stall. Mama Kemi tried to smile, to act normal, but inside her heart was breaking. Mama Ronke was happy about this, and soon her shop was also getting filled with customers. She spent hours staring at her pot, whispering to herself, "What did I do wrong? Why is everything changing again?" One evening, she decided to go back to the herbalist hut to seek help. But when she reached the forest, the hut was gone. Only a burnt patch of ground remained. She fell to her knees, crying, "Please help me again. I did everything you said." But no one answered. Only the sound of crickets filled the night. From that day, Mama Kemi stopped sleeping. She stayed awake all night, muttering to herself, staring at the cracked bowl. Sometimes she laughed for no reason. Sometimes she shouted at invisible people. The market women began to avoid her. "Mama Kemi is changing, oh," they whispered. "Stay away from her." Her once beautiful clothes became dirty. She stopped bathing and forgot to comb her hair. One morning, she stood in the market screaming, "Come and eat! Come and eat! My food is sweet again." But there was no pot, no table, no customers, only her voice echoing across the stalls. People watched her with pity and fear. "She has gone mad. Mama Kemi has gone mad," they said. Days turned into weeks. Mama Kemi roamed the market barefooted, holding the cracked bowl to her chest like a baby. She no longer cooked. She no longer spoke sense. She just wandered, whispering, "3 drops, just 3 drops. They will come again." Children threw stones at her. Traders crossed to the other side when they saw her. Rain fell, sun burned, but she didn't care. Her mind was gone, lost in memories of a success that had vanished. One quiet evening, as the market was closing, a young boy saw her sitting under a mango tree behind her stall. Her eyes were open, staring at nothing. The cracked bowl lay beside her. She had stopped breathing. The market women buried her behind her stall. No one took her pot. No one sat in her spot again. At night, traders said they sometimes heard her voice in the wind, whispering softly, "Buy rice, buy beans, only 3 drops." But no one dared to answer. Her story spread among Orita markets. Parents warned their daughters, "Don't look for power where you shouldn't. Patience is better than shortcuts." And so, the name Mama Kemi became a warning, a name mothers mentioned when teaching their children about greed and pride. She wanted customers. She got them, but in the end, her greed took her mind and her life. The moral of this story is that patience is better than quick success. If you learned anything from this story, don't forget to tell me what you learned under the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales like this. Bye. See you in the next tale.